Thank you. Srimati Supriya Sule.
Thank you, sir. On outset, inflation, which is a serious component of an economic development, I think price rise today is one of the most serious concerns in our country today and pinches every homely budget. I think Sushma ji's speech, we all appreciate, she being a woman, me being a woman. We know how much inflation and price rise hurts each one of us when we run our homes. But when you look at it, I'm not defending price rise. But I think inflation and a wider economic policy as an issue should be a common consensus at the national level. We've had over and over discussions in the last 3 years since we have come to power here in the UPA too. But I think there is a slight sense of disappointment in each one of us because every member who is seriously concerned about price rise is not just looking for emotional speeches, but we are looking for solutions. And I think that's why we are all elected here to look for solutions for the country and not just make it into an agony aunt situation in Parliament. Parliament is a place to deliberate, discuss, and lead the nation and find solutions for our generations to come. I think the whole problem with inflation and the discussion is we all have collective aspirations of growth. We want higher growth, we want inclusive growth, and we want sustainable growth. And I see all these completely in a potential of threat today as we are going. What are the causes of this? The fiscal deficit is extremely high right now. Slow growth, which we've talked about. We heard Pranab's speech yesterday. He has talked about it from being double digit to 6%. The high inflation. I think we all need to collectively look for a solution here as the entire world is going into a recession. I think it's a phenomenon which goes around every 6 to 10 years. So I think India today is an economy which is not insulated by the world. So we have to look at how we can change and improve our situation. There's a lot being said on demand and supply. But I think the robust growth in agriculture in the last 3 to 5 years, there is tremendous production done by our farmers. And a lot has been said about the MSP. And I think we are all seriously concerned about the minimum support price given. Everybody's talked about their own states. There was a lot of discussion on potato. There was discussion on cotton. My earlier colleague from Shiv Sena, from the state where I come from, talked extensively about cotton. And I think we are all concerned about it. Because as long as the consumer has to be pleased, but even the person who produces it has to get his right MSP. Now, to look at sugar as an example, I'll give you an example which happened. We had a huge agitation in Maharashtra for sugar. Sugar, we have a great bumper crop, but we wanted the right price for it. The right price was given, but at the same time, agriculture production has to be opened in the market. The way the entire economy has opened in our country, why can't we export all our agriculture goods when they are surplus for a better price? I'll give you an example. Sugar should have been exported at 670 rupees a dollar. That's when we were doing well. By the time the government of India took the decision, by the time they had a GOM, the order came out, it was 3 weeks. And the prices dropped down to somewhere between the ballpark of 580 to 620. Now, who is to take the responsibility? And even allowing the export, only 5 lakh tons of sugar was allowed to do it. When we have surplus lying with us, our buffer stocks are there, why aren't we allowing exports and free exports and quick decisions when agriculture needs it? Right time decisions, and they have to be taken within 24 hours. We talk about commodities. There is a lot of been things said about speculation. If there is an opposition, unless there is a consensus, we will not ask the speculation market. So today, India has opened its doors, wants to be a great economy. Chakoji talked extensively about China, and he got a lot of criticism. I think he was right, because today it's not about how the government is run. Today, in an open economy where the world, globalization, all the goods has found a home in every market in this country. Doesn't matter how big or small your economy is. And in a growing economy like ours, I think whether it's agriculture or commodities products, we have to play with the market, given the circumstances of the world that affects us directly or indirectly in any way. Extensively, people talked about PDS. I'm proud to say where the state I come from, we are trying an extremely innovative program it's called Gharpots Yojana, means the goods in the PDS system. To make sure that there is no hoarding and there are less leakages, we send it to the village. The panchayat has a meeting in front of everybody, and the entire PDS for 3 to 6 months is delivered to the home. So you don't have it, and it doesn't come at any extra cost. It's a very successful tribal program, which has been even considered by the government of India. So I'm sure PDS, strengthening it, will definitely help all of us, but I think we all have to together, which state, it doesn't really matter. Like the NDA state of Jharkhand is doing exceptionally good work, and I think I'd like to compliment them for the great job they are doing over there in PDS. So why can't we use, Chhattisgarh has done it, not Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh is doing a great job. So why can't we use such innovative things and put right above politics? I think that's what, I think there can be a national consensus. Because I think education, healthcare, malnutrition, price rise, these are not political issues, these hurt every common man. And I think we really need to change the face of Indian politics as where these kind of issues where I don't think anybody disagrees on. You want sugar at a good price in your home, so do I. Ratnaji also has a budget in her home, so do I have a budget on our home. So I think we all of us who run on homes on budgets, I don't think anybody has a different view on this. So I think we're really looking, and as a younger member of the party, I must say that I'm completely disillusioned by these ongoing debates which come out with no solutions. Price rise, people are looking at us, even look at the attendance today. When there is so much being said in our country, look at the attendance today on this debate. I think it's completely disillusioned each one of us. So I think we really need to look and see how we can take it forward. Look at agriculture, put it on the agenda, because food inflation is something that we can do without any other infrastructure, but we cannot do without food. So unless we invest all our energies into improving agriculture growth, look at leakages, and I think really what are the 5 most critical points that really drive inflation? A lot has been criticized about the Honorable Minister's statement about dietary habits. He is right. The dietary habits have changed to a certain extent, but it's not just the dietary habits, but the supply and demand gap that is really the problem. It's not just, so I would definitely depend on Mr. Thomas's statement. Increase in MSP. The MSP in the UPA 1 and 2 has substantially gone up compared to the NDA time. It definitely needs to go much more, but that definitely is a very big component because of inflation. Shocks of global inflation. Today, because it's an open economy, globalization, shocks of whatever happens worldwide does affect our economy because our economy is not insular anymore. Financialization of commodities. Look at commodities as an example. Look at sugar, whether it's gold, silver, all these commodities do get affected definitely by financialization of it. So all these bonds, whenever there's a crisis, financialization and these bonds play a very, very critical role in inflation. And lastly, the pressure stemming from inclusive growth policies. We do a lot of policies for the lower market, and they definitely play a big role and put a lot of pressure on inflation. So I think we really need to look at it in a much holistic, a pragmatic and open way. And I'd really urge all my colleagues here today, let's put this on the agenda as not as an UPA problem, but it's an NDA problem and all our friends, because it hurts every common man of this country. And I think we owe it to our nation to rise above creation and look for good solutions to give betterment, because today the entire atmosphere in the country is against all of us. It's 800 people versus all those millions of Indians. We are one of them. I think we've all missed the point. We are elected members. I stand here as 1.6 million people's voice from my constituency. I'm no different than who they are. So I think it's time we come, stand up in our fraternity and prove to the nation that we are 800 people who are one of them, the voice of them, and we want to make a difference and be a part of India's growth. Thank you.
Thank you.